Assalamu alaikum everyone, how are you guys doing? So if it has not been clear from my previous number of videos, I am a Medina student. I've been here for roughly a year, maybe a little bit more than that. And in this video I want to talk to you guys about everything you need to know about the Islamic University of Madinah. Now, as I said, I've only been here for roughly 1 year, and so I don't know everything about the Islamic University of Madinah. However, I do want to share my insights of being in the university for this 1 year. So in this video, I will talk to you guys about a number of things. I will talk to you guys about Arabic, learning Arabic here, the Arabic program. I will also talk to you guys about living in the dorms, living in the Jamia itself. I will talk to you guys about the Haram, and then I will answer one of the questions that I'm assuming many people have. Should you come here? Is it worth coming to the Islamic University of Madinah? So let's begin. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is Arabic, the Arabic program and learning Arabic here. And I remember I was talking with one of my friends when we both started this journey together, and we both said something along the lines of, I can't wait to study Islam. It'd be so interesting, learning what all the scholars have to say, what Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen says about this opinion, Sheikh Albani says about this opinion, the debates between these guys. And when we arrived, when we were being serious about being students of knowledge, we were faced with the reality of 3 months of learning how to say, this is a door, and then another 3 months of how to connect sentences. I think the reason why I'm bringing up this story was because my friend and I, we had this imagination of how being a student of knowledge would be, what we will study and all that stuff. And in reality, the stuff that we wanted to learn was way over our heads and we had to really lower ourselves down to learn the ultimate basics. And I've seen this in a lot of students that when they come to Medina, they're kind of like, the Mahad is so boring, learning Arabic, I don't like learning Arabic. And they want to skip right to the university to get to the good stuff, as they say. However, I think that's just because of the way we structured our learning of Islam prior to coming to Medina. A lot of people, they structure it the same way that I did. We learned different opinions on Aqeedah. We learned different fiqh rulings, what the ulama say, the debates between them, and, the interesting stuff. And then when we come here, we're just faced with, again, as I said, learning Arabic, the quote-unquote boring stuff for some people. However, when our teachers started teaching us Arabic and we started learning different words, how to form sentences and so on, I realized that Arabic is not like any other language. It's not like a lake. I kind of look at it that other languages are a lake compared to the ocean of the Arabic language, how vast and how much there is in learning the Arabic language. So now since we know that the Arabic is super important and that the scholars have put so much weight on Arabic, how is learning Arabic here in Medina? So I want to divide this up into two kind of portions, and this is going to be about the school, the Mahad program, and the outside stuff. So in terms of the Mahad, once you get here, if you're a new student, if you don't know any Arabic, it's extremely, extremely hard. I know many students who have said that the hardest years for them in Medina, and some of them have done even masters, is the first year once they arrive here. Because they say, once you know the Arabic language, it's like any other university. However, when you don't know any Arabic, learning Arabic from teachers who only know Arabic is extremely hard, and is very hard for many students. And the Arabic books themselves are really good here in Medina. However, they do have a heavy focus on grammar, which is extremely important. However, obviously, it can be extremely, extremely hard for somebody who doesn't know anything and they're learning, the grammar of the Arabic language. However, most of the teachers do understand that it's hard, and they do tend to cater to all the students, knowing their level. They speak really slowly, try their best to explain multiple times. And I've actually had many teachers who, when some of us didn't know some of the words, he would say it in English. He would literally go on the board and write down the meaning in English. So they really did help us out. However, again, in the beginning, it is really hard. And I know for me, and right now I'm in the Mustawa 5. Personally, for me, the hardest Mustawa for me, even though people say like Mustawa 3 is like super hard, for me personally, it was the first Mustawa. It was the first year when I started learning Arabic. That was the hardest for me because I don't know any Arabic. I don't know very few things, and trying to connect words together, sentences, whether something is with a fatha, damma, kasra was super confusing for me, and I hated memorizing a list of words. However, that's how the beginning is. It is really hard, but the program here is designed to be super basic in the beginning and then get progressively harder. So that's really the Mahad program. Again, it's hard in the beginning, but it does get easier, and the teachers really do tailor the program for the students. But now I want to get on to the second part of this, Arabic outside the school. And I think this is also super important. And students tend, from what I've seen, tend to not focus on this part. They tend to study really well in class, and then outside of class, they're back home. They're back in America. They're back in wherever their home country is. They hang out with their own groups of people, and they don't speak or do any Arabic outside of school. And this is a major problem. All my teachers have told us, listen to Arabic lectures, read Arabic books, read out loud the Arabic books, focus on learning new words, talk Arabic with one another. And at first, I was in this mindset of, well, okay, that's helpful, but you don't really need it. And then later on, I realized that, yeah, it's super important. I've seen students here who, if you were to ask them explain the Arabic grammar, they would explain it amazingly. They would be better than even some of the teachers probably. But if you told them to speak Arabic, they'll be very wish-washy. They wouldn't really be able to formulate a sentence. And a lot of people in the Mahad, because the Mahad is understandable, you can't formulate a sentence as well. But these are people who are finishing their bachelor's, who I've had conversations with, and they had a hard time talking in Arabic. And they would say, I don't practice Arabic outside of the school. I only focus on reading and doing good on the exams, or focusing on the exams and stuff. But when it comes to talking, they don't really talk Arabic at all. And this really hinders the ability of somebody to learn Arabic. When it comes to learning Arabic, there's no divide between going to the university and your outside life. They should be mixed together. You need to, whatever you're learning in the university should continue and be used on your day-to-day life while you're studying Arabic. The advice that a lot of my teachers gave us is this: focus on speaking, listening, and reading, which is basically everything you do, but I'm being serious. And when it comes to reading, they told us try to find books with harakats. Fatha, Dhamma, Kasra. Try finding books in those, because books without those things, you'll mess up a lot in reading. And they would say, find books for children's book. That's why when I was in Muswa 4, I already did 1 year of Arabic. My teacher told me, don't go looking into the hardest book. I want to look at the Sharh of Ajrumiyya, or I want to look at what Ibn Taymiyyah said while you're learning Arabic. Your main focus on is to build your vocabulary, to build how to formulate sentences. And in terms of reading, he told me, go to the bookstore and buy a book for children, buy a book for middle schoolers. And I know it looks stupid, you come all the way from your home country and you're going to buy Diary of a Wimpy Kid in Arabic, but this helps in improving your vocabulary. It helps in giving you words on your day-to-day life. When you read a book by, for instance, Ibn Taymiyyah, which a lot of students want to jump into right away, you're learning words that are designed to be used very sparingly. Those words are not designed to be used every single day. Those are going to be words that you learn for the context and then you probably forget about it. However, reading a book like Diary of a Wimpy Kid in Arabic, that will be extremely helpful because they have so many words that will be used on your day-to-day life. You learn how to say basics, I gotta go to the store, let's go to school, different food types, different ways to express clothing, color, or whatever it is. Those books will greatly help you learn the Arabic language, that once you finish the Mahad, you will have collected a vast collection of Arabic vocabulary. Also, another thing they would tell me is read out loud. I've seen so many students who don't read out loud at all. I've seen people who we have the class called Qira'a, and all they're reading, and what they're doing is, we have to read out loud to the teacher. And what they're doing is they're reading in their head, like that. But when you're reading in your head, you think you're the best Arabic reader in the entire world. Because when you're reading in your head, you're not really making mistakes. You don't really tend to see the mistakes. You're just reading really quickly. When you read out loud, however, it's a totally different story. I know for myself, when I'm reading in my head, I'm passing by pages. It's the easiest thing ever. As soon as I start reading out loud, It's not as great as I thought it was. And that's my advice in terms of reading. When it comes to listening and talking, and I put these kind of two together, is listening will help you understand how to formulate sentences right away. And talking will really test what you know. Talking is, you got your vocabulary from the books. You got your how to formulate sentences from listening. And then speaking is your test in a way. It's testing your ability. It's testing how much vocabulary you know. It's testing how much grammar, how well your grammar is, and how well you know how to formulate sentences. This really tests how much you know. And out of everything that all my teachers told me, they have told us, focus on speaking. Don't just focus on speaking your own language in the dorm rooms or outside or with your American friends or wherever you're from. Make these 2 years that you're here in the Mahad mainly for Arabic and Quran, but that's another side point, but mainly on Arabic. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is living in the dorms, living in the Jamia. In terms of the dorms, there are 2 dorms. Those are the ones in the Jamia and the ones in the Rabwa. I did not stay in the Rabwa. This FYI, Rabwa is a little bit like 10-15 minute drive from the Jamia Islamia. It's like closer to the Haram. However, it's a totally different section than where the Islamic University of Madinah is. I have not stayed there. I visited some friends there. I've seen a little bit of the area there. It's a really good area, but again, I can't really speak much about it. I'm not going to focus that much on that. I'm going to focus on in the Islamic University of Madinah, those dorms there. Now, in terms of the dorms, they're pretty good, depending. Well, if they put you into the newer dorm buildings, like 20, 21, 19, 18 or whatever, those are really good. Those buildings are newer and they're cleaner and they're more, I think, like better structured. They're all kind of like structured the same, but I don't know. I just feel like they were a lot better than some of the really old ones. If you're placed into the really old ones, Wihda, building number 3, 4, 5, those are extremely old. Those are like way back in the day buildings, and they're not as structured, they're not as nicely kept, but I don't think they put a lot of new students in there. They tend to put new students in the newer buildings and in the Rabwa. Now, in each of the dorm buildings, each floor has a place to wash your own clothes. They have a kitchen. They have a lot of bathrooms. It has all the necessities that you need in the building. Now, when it comes to the dorm rooms, I showed it in my video of the tour of the Islamic University of Madinah. Check that out in the description below. And the dorm rooms are pretty solid. Now, you're not getting, the best dorm room in the world. It's not like the greatest, dorm room ever. It's 4 walls, but it's spacious. It gives you room. They give you a desk. They give you the bed, a nightstand. They give you the cabinet. Of course, you get Wi-Fi, but it's not that great, in my opinion. It's not that great. But again, all this is for free, and living in the dorms is not that bad. Now, in terms of the campus is pretty good. It is really nice to look at. It is pretty, and they have a lot of stuff around there as well. In the middle of the camp, I don't know if it's in the middle, but I always think of it as in the middle. They have this huge play area where people can play basketball. They can play football. I think they even have tennis or whatever. They have some workout areas there too outside. They have all these stores, bookstores, a printer, and they have a regular bakal, a grocery store in there as well. They have some tiny not restaurants, but place where you can buy food as well outside of the matam, the dining hall food, which I'll talk to you guys about in a bit, and which I started this semester or the end of last semester. They have a new gym as well, an entire gym building designed for students. And I have not seen the gym there. I have not been able to go there yet, but inshallah I will go there and check it out because I've heard only amazing things there. I heard it's really big. They have swimming, they have a weight room, they have a cardio room, they have personal trainers I think there too. And I heard it's amazing and it's a lot cheaper than the ones outside. So inshallah, once I go check, I'll do a video and you guys can see it as well. So the campus is really full. The campus is actually pretty good. And outside the campus, really close to the campuses, they have other bookstores, some other restaurants, and coffee shops as well where you can hang out with people. So it's a pretty good campus, especially on the outside. There's a lot of stuff. It's a good area. Now, in terms of the campus, there's another thing we should talk about, and that is the matam, the dining hall food. How is it? Well, it's okay. You're not getting Gordon Ramsay. So you're not getting Arby's, if that's a good comparison. Arby's is bad, by the way. The food in the matam is okay. It's really cheap. You're getting what you're paying for. Again, we should be happy and say alhamdulillah that they're giving to us food for a really low price, that students with the mukaf, a monthly stipend, can easily pay for it and still have money for the end of the month if they don't spend it on anything else. We should be happy for that and say alhamdulillah. But again, you're getting what you're paying for. It's nothing that great. It's not like the best thing ever. Like, now that since we talked about the dorms, the campus, let's talk about the haram. Many students apply to the Islamic University of Madinah for the haram, to go to the Prophet's mosque, to listen to the lectures. And in all honesty, it's as good as you think it is. It's even better than what you think it is. It's such a blessing that not only do we get this Islamic education free at the Islamic University, but we're able to go to the haram, listen to all these great scholars without any need of paying money or anything. Not even have to worry about that. You just go there, grab some books, and listen to whoever's giving a lecture that day. Now, outside of these lectures, there's also a lot of classes where you can get an ijaz, and where you can finish a book, you can memorize, let's say, the Quran or some books of hadith, like the Arba'in Nawawi, the 40 hadith of Imam Nawawi. If you memorize, and you can memorize them, go to a teacher, say those, and then they give you a test at the end. And then they give you a diploma for finishing that book, a diploma that says that you have the right to teach this now. And they have a lot of these throughout the haram. However, most students, they tend to focus on learning the Quran, which is something that me and my friends, a lot of us are doing as well. We have our own Quran teachers, and we give our memorized part of the Quran to them. And these Quran classes are great because the teachers here, they are so amazing when it comes to their memorization and their tajweed of the Quran. Like my teacher, for instance, he will be able to hear me reciting a part of the Quran, like let's say the beginning parts of the Quran, and he'll be able to hear someone else reciting it somewhere in the middle, and he will know when I make a mistake what mistake it is, and he'll correct me, and at the same time he will tell the person who's reading from somewhere in the middle, hey, you made a mistake here. How he's able to do that at the same time, I have no idea. These teachers are amazing when it comes to Quran. And I really advise students to get a Quran teacher because the Quran you learn at the Mahad is really good. However, you only learn the Mahad the first 2 years. You only learn Juz Amma. But when you get to the Quran teacher, you'll be able to learn more and more. And trust me, it's really beneficial to start learning the Quran once you're in the Mahad, once you first get here. Again, I really suggest people coming to Medina, try your best to go to the haram every day. Try your best to go to the haram every other day at least. Now the question is, everyone has been waiting for, should you come to the Islamic University of Madinah? Now clearly my answer is going to be very biased. I'm a student here. And so yes, I will generally advise anyone watching this video, anyone who clicked on this video saying, I really want to see how the Islamic University of Madinah is, to go to the Islamic University of Madinah. However, there is some stuff that you guys have to consider. For one thing, it's not the easiest transition. Going from your home country of wherever you're from, America, England, or wherever you guys are from, and coming here is a transition. It takes time for someone to get used to the program here, to get used to the weather, to get used to the food, the people, and all that stuff. It takes time, and it's not the easiest thing. However, what I'm about to say is the criterion of whether or not you should come here. If your goal in life is you want to be a full-time scholar, da'i, alim, you want to teach people Islam, you want to focus and you want to learn Islam for yourself and to teach people Islam and to help others become Muslim, then you should definitely come to Medina University. There is such a wealth of knowledge here from the university, from all the books you can get at the bookstores, from listening to all these great scholars here, that if that is your goal in life, then you should definitely come here. However, if your goal in life is to have Islam as a part-time thing, to just learn Islam somewhat and then focus on your career, focus on your other job or whatever it is, then really think about your intention, about whether or not, about what you should do. Being a scholar is a full-time job. It's not a part-time thing you do on the weekends. It's a full-time, 7 days a week, 24/7 job. It's about your inner self, and it's about what you do for other people, for the ummah, for the Muslim community. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, that really, before coming here, always think about your intention and what your goal in life is. And I think this is how I want to leave off the video. And again, I said, for anyone who's deciding to come here, even those who don't have the intention of doing this full time, but they had that desire at a time, or somebody who, they have the fear that their intention is not in the right place, make a istikhara, make dua to Allah that He guides you to the right direction, what is best for you. Generally, if someone wants to come here and they have that inclination, my thing would be apply, make a istikhara, make dua that Allah will guide you, and whatever Allah has in store for you, just know that is the best. That is the best for you. And Allah knows what's best for all of us. So yeah, guys, that is the video. I hope it was a very beneficial video. And inshallah, you guys benefited from it. I hope to see you guys again next video. And Assalamu alaikum.